So what is up guys, I'm Stuffy and today I'm going to show you how to make beautiful simulations with Cinema 4D and Blender. This is going to be a super quick video. I tried recording this already with all the fancy camera and lighting and shit, but it really didn't work out. So yeah, let's hop in. Alright, so now we're here in Cinema. We'll just make a super quick animation just to show around the workflow. I'm going to make 2 cubes. Let's position them, and now let's put some cloth in the middle. To make cloth, we'll use a plane. Now just go here and look for cloth tag in a simulation tag, and use this one. As you can see now, if you start the animation, nothing will happen except it falling down in the void. To avoid this from happening, we just need to put 2 tags on the cubes. We need to search for a collision and make sure to use this one. So now when you start animation, it will kind of work, but you know, it looks all janky and shitty. So the main problems we're having here, these sharp lines here we're getting, and it is because of the fong. So just go here in the fong settings and remove it or set it to 180. And the second thing is,
it's a low resolution. It's a low resolution.
To avoid this, we just need to increase the segments. Put it to like 70, play it. And there you go, we have something looking good now. You see, we still have some glitches going on here. For example, here we have the cloth going through the cube. To make the animation more realistic, we can increase the substeps here. And we can also increase the iterations. So something like 7 will be really good. And remember that when you increase the substeps and the iteration, the animation will be super slow in real time. But as you can see, now we don't have any more those artifacts. So I think I'm just going to increase more the subdivisions on the cloth to make it look nicer. You just need to go here and alt click on the subdivision surface with the plane enabled, and it will automatically apply on it. So now when we play it, it looks nice and smooth. But now let's make it more interesting. So let's increase the frame count to something like 250. At some point here, for example, at 50, go here and set a keyframe for the gravity. So just go in the scene after doing Ctrl D, and now let's set a keyframe from gravity. And on the next frame, 51, we'll put it to a positive number. So for example, we can just do like this, removing the minus. And as you can see now, we'll go back up. And this is really cool because we can do this back and forth animation till we're satisfied. Alright, so now we're on 130. I will set again the gravity, go 1 frame after, put the minus back. There you go. And now when you play it, it's going to go back down and crash down. One more thing before caching the scene, actually, I'd like to have some more interesting animation in it. And with the new cloth simulation, we have a lot of cool stuff we can do. My favorite one is actually this one, target length. It basically just takes the surface and it makes it expand. So we can do it in a random frame, for example, 60. We can set target length to 100% and then go up a couple of frames. I like it to be really quick, so 5 frames, for example, and get it to 120 or more. So now what you'll see is the cloth expanding, which is really cool. Actually, I think I'm going to move the keyframes a little bit back because I like it to expand while it is still on the cube. So for example, frame 50 to 55. Oh yeah, that looks good. And now we could do the opposite, for example. So let's just go where we set the keyframes for it to go back down. So 30. And at 30, we set the keyframe here, go a couple of frames after it, and go back down to 100. And there you go. Alright, so if you'd like to, you can also place a plane underneath so it collides when it falls down. You just have to put the collider tag on it. Boom. Nice, done. Now let's bake it. So click on the plane with the cloth simulation in it, go into the cloth tag, cache, and calculate cache. It is going to take some time depending on the subdivisions you used. depending on your PC and on the substeps and iterations and all that. Once that's done, you can just go here on File and look for the export settings of Alembic. So make sure everything seems okay here. You may want to change the scale, or in Blender everything will be super huge. Now let's check also the end frame. It has to be the same as you have here, so it's 200. Also remember the keyframe by default in Cinema is 30 FPS, in Blender it is 24, so you may want to change it. I will just keep it 30. Everything looks okay. We can press OK and we can choose to export it here. This is going to export an Alembic file. You can save your Cinema 4D file. And now let's close Cinema and go into Blender. Alright, so delete everything, go File, Import, Alembic. And now you just have to find your file. Where the fuck is it? Alright, so just grab it and put it on here. Everything should be alright here, you don't really have to change anything. I mean, maybe the scale if you didn't change it before. And you can do Import Alembic. For example, here it's a little bit small, so I think I will actually import it a little bit bigger. So just click on it and make the scale 10, for example, or in my case I'll just do like 2. Import Alembic. Now we have the animation, it is fully baked, you don't have to do anything, it plays super smooth on it. Just change the number of frames here, boom. Change the frame rate, which is 30 in my case. Could be different for you if you changed it. And now as you can see, the animation plays still here and stops there. I like to go for a square ratio, for example for Instagram posts and all, so go orthographic as well. Let's take a look in render view, looks nice. Crop to have a performance boost, since you don't have to render all this stuff that is out of it. So you may want to give this a little bit of thickness to go down, like this. Check the normals as well. Everything looks good. So now it is a little bit weird looking, so I will just put a little bevel on it, sharpen as well. Looks good. Let's see if the animation still works. Goes up, stays there, goes down, and there you go. Looks great. I like to use a lot of glass materials for this kind of animation. Put it there, still there, right? Yeah. Increase the roughness, and as you can see, it looks kind of cool. You can mix it with the glass. There you go, looks really nice. So you usually want to put bevel on everything because things look good with bevels, that's the reason. So I will just change the HDRI here, not using the sky texture. You can pick one of the default ones from here. Actually, my favorite one is probably sunset. Oh yeah, so good. You can rotate it. Since we are in orthographic view, you will only have the color of one of the pixels from the HDRI. So as you can see, when you rotate it, just picks different parts. If you don't like this, you can go here, go perspective, and just use a really high focal length. But I prefer using orthographic, of course. In case you don't like this, you can just put your own color behind. So just put a light path node. You have to make double of this, connect together, and use the camera ray as a factor. So now basically what you can do is just changing the color from here. I'm also going to put some lighting here. Super simple lighting setup. I like to make rim lights, so to do that you just have to constrain, track the light to the camera. There you go. So it is basically always going to point to the camera. You can put it behind objects to make a nice rim light on the edge, just like this. If you want, you can give some thickness to the cubes with a solidify modifier. You can change the thickness, of course, and all those parameters. You can choose whether to use it before or after the bevel. I'll just link the modifiers here to have the same ones. There you go. And for this one, I'll just use a simple BSDF, principal BSDF, with high transmission, low roughness, some transmission roughness, and I give it some nice color, like so. Oh yeah, it looks pretty cool. So at the end, I also like to add some subdivisions, mainly because we don't really have a slowdown if you're doing it after importing the animation as an Alembic. And I also really like the way it looks on the flipped side of it. You see all the flip normals here. Give it a real nice look, for me at least. You can of course give it some thickness to avoid that problem. Even lower than this, like this. But honestly, I really don't mind it. I also like using aces instead of Blender display. I also usually increase a little bit the exposure, reduce the gamma. Don't burn everything though. Also, if you want, instead of using just a solid color for the background, you can also make a gradient like this to make it look cooler. You can use the camera or the window reference point for the texture coordinates. Simple color ramp here to guide everything. You can use B-spline to make it smoother. It is all super saturated and everything, you can change it, you can do it as you prefer. I actually make this metal. I enabled the motion blur for a cooler result. Alright, and to enable the depth of field here, so you can put it really down and just check. Move this until you find the point you want to focus on, and then you can increase it back. So yeah, that's it for this one. You just need to go here in the export settings, in the output settings, check everything is as you want. You can do, for example, instead of exporting as a PNG sequence, you may want to export as an MP4. So just choose FFmpeg, go to encoding, choose MPEG-4, and you just have to go render animation. I'm just going to do it really quick, and I'm using actually a PNG sequence because I'm going to change something in After Effects as well. So I'm going to lower down the resolution just to make it quicker to render and lower the sample to like 20. Go Ctrl F12, it's the shortcut for rendering animation. Alright, so we got all of our frames rendered out. So we can go to After Effects, boom. So give it a moment for opening. It's going to take some time because it's an Adobe product. Okay, I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah, but it's really slow. So yeah, I could have cut this probably. Yeah, I'll just wait. Yeah. So today the weather is kind of cold outside. Like I went out and I just bought some meat and... Alright, so you can import your stuff. Please, let me... Fuck you. Okay, what? Alright, double click here, go where you saved your animation, just till frame 200, PNG sequence enable, remember to click on that, and import. So now you want to go here, interpret footage, and check if everything is alright. So we got 30 frames per second. Alright, so everything looks good. Click OK. You can grab it and take it in there. Plate should be working all nice. So if everything looks good, you may want to do some correction. I usually just do a quick lumetri color. I usually also do this thing to get some glow. You just want to take duplicate of the same layer, put it to screen mode, and then you just look for some blur. Fastbox blur is good enough. Crank it up, and then you just want to reduce the opacity of it. Do something like 50%, 20%. So you see, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but it looks cool. So do all of your adjustments. You may want to do something more complex, depends on what you're doing actually. And then you can just simply export, file, export. With Media Encoder, set up your settings here. I already have mine. I usually don't export audio because it's just an animation. I will use audio encoding, and you can increase the pass here actually. It also depends on what encoding you're using. So all of that, I usually do H.264, which is MP4. And yeah, so just take it, choose a name, clove tut. So click render. And now we got our animation done. Looking good, beautiful, awesome animation. And that's it. Alright, so thanks for watching. That's it. I just wanted to show quickly my workflow for this kind of stuff. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned something today. I mean, it was kind of sketchy, quick, and dirty, but this is my first video, so I guess that's alright. So, if you like this, please subscribe, give me a like, share it with your mom. and I'll see you the next time. Hopefully, I'll probably die first, but no, okay. So, thanks for watching, I'll see you the next time.